This is the cat's meow, probably the most visible of all colonies on Prince Edward Island. This colony of cats is a rather frequently visited colony of cats due to its location at a busy wharf and right beside a provincial park. So in the summertime, when the tourists are around, this colony gets lots and lots of visitation, but unfortunately it also gets lots and lots of abandonment. There's a lot of cats abandoned here every year.
We're constantly opening up new colonies, so people are coming to us with feral cats from different locations, so we're constantly increasing the number of areas on PEI that we're moving into. It's really hard to know exactly how many feral cats are on PEI and how much of an impact we're making on the feral cat population of Prince Edward Island as a whole. But we know in at least individual colonies we've been managing for several years, we are decreasing the number of cats in that colony. In addition to improving their quality of life by removing cats that have feline leukemia or FIV, we can eliminate those diseases in those colonies, and also improving their quality of life by not having them have to use up a lot of energy fighting, competing for mates, and going through the process of becoming pregnant and giving birth.
Well, it was about 3 years ago that I started working here as a relief milker, which is just someone who comes in and works on the weekend. And at that time, when I first came, I noticed right off the bat there were lots of cats around. Some of these same cats that you see here today were around then too. But they really weren't as healthy as they could be, and you know, none of them had been spayed or neutered at that time, and there were kittens in the barn and that kind of thing. So between me and some of the other people who work here, we decided to trap a couple at a time and bring them in to be spayed and neutered through Cat Action Team, and it's really made a big difference here in our colony.
Well, I enjoy going over to feed the cats, and it's nice to be part of Cat Action because I know I'm helping them. All of the kittens have gotten homes, so there's only older cats here now. Okay, some of the cats had to be put to sleep because they had leukemia.
We've been monitoring 2 cat viruses. We tested in all the cats that we work with. We test them for feline leukemia and feline immunodeficiency virus. They're abbreviated FELV and FIV. They're 2 serious viral infections in cats. When we first started spaying and neutering cats in 2001, we had a prevalence of about 7 to 8% for these viruses. So that means about 7 to 8% of the cats that came in were positive for one of those 2 diseases. Over the years, we've seen a decline in the prevalence of feline leukemia and FIV, and actually this year, 2006, was our best year in that we had a prevalence of around 3 or 2% for feline leukemia and FIV.
The cats. So we,
I didn't know.
I know, there was people in the area that wanted to get rid of these cats. Yes, because they were out and around eating in other places as well, right? And they weren't just eating here like we're trying to eat here, they were out scavenging all over the community and people were getting upset. So then Nicole stepped in here and away we went. We ended up with a young lady here that's looking after this place and looking after us.
It's because of Princess.
Yes, the first cat that started out really. But anyway, it is now in much better shape. Nicole and friends have come over and cleaned it all up and to this point, and the cats come down, they eat every day and drink every day, and it's great. And as well, there was some feline leukemia here, and if Cat Action hadn't stepped in with Nicole's help here, the feline leukemia likely would have went through the whole colony. And then, of course, would have been out into the community as well because the cats were wandering, right? Now we know that all 6 that are here, they're fine, they've been tested, they're spayed and neutered, and there's not going to be any more repopulation, in this barn at least. And Nicole's keeping an eye on that as well. She watches for other cats coming in, and if a new cat comes, we come right over and we try to trap it as well. So there's lots happening here, isn't there?
I guess, yeah.
It's a busy colony.
She does a lot. She's always checking on them for that they're healthy, that they're not getting sick. If she notices one of them's getting sick, she lets us know right away. And then we come over and try to work with that.
Do you have some friends that help you?
Well, my friend lives a little bit down the road, so sometimes she'll come.
Well, we can have anywhere from 6 to 10 cats show up. They're kind of on their own. Some of them are related, mothers and daughters, and some of them just show up. I think word gets around that perhaps there's free food here at the barn. So sometimes when I come in, there's 3 or 4, sometimes there's 9 or 10. And it doesn't really matter who shows up. They're all welcome. And they seem to get along pretty good, a lot better now that they've been spayed and or neutered. Because before I would have a lot of fighting tomcats and females in heat, and it just sometimes wasn't a very happy place to be for me or for the cats. But as you can see, they're pretty healthy.
We've had all these cats spayed and neutered through Cat Action Team. We started off slowly. We just caught the ones that we could easily pick up and take in. Then we had to work at some of the shyer cats and getting them trapped. And you know, it took a couple of years to have all of them done, but now they've all been done, and these individuals that you see here are the same cats that have been here the last couple of years. So I think they're happy and healthy and stable, and it's just a good thing overall for all of them.
This cat here, her name is Phyllis, and she actually has an interesting history, because back at the community center, she was being fed by the people who were staffing the Progressive Conservative headquarters during one of the provincial elections. And when the election was over, everybody left, and Phyllis was left on the doorstep, and she was looking for food. So one of the guys back there, he knew I had cats here in the barn, and he said, well, maybe you'd take her because she looks kind of hungry, and she's just a lovely cat. But it was Philip Brown's Progressive Conservative headquarters, and we never checked the sex of the cat. And when she came to live here, her name was Philip. Shortly after, we realized she was expecting kittens, and she quickly became Phyllis. But as you can see, she's a lovely cat, and she really just needed some food and shelter. And although she had beautiful kittens, and we loved her kittens, we took her and had her spayed through Cat Action Team. So better for her and better for everybody all around.
At the Atlantic Veterinary College, we have feral cat neuter days on Saturdays about every 2 months or so. At these feral cat neuter days, we have many different students from all 4 years of the veterinary program taking part. So we'd have well over 50 students each Saturday that we do this, volunteering. And in fact, we have to turn some students away. We have more volunteers than we have cats available sometimes. We also have about a dozen doctors who work at the vet college volunteering their time to spay and neuter these cats and help the students supervise them doing the spays and neuters. On an average Saturday feral cat neuter day at the Atlantic Veterinary College, we'll see around 30 cats, anywhere between about 20 and 40 cats. So we do that every couple of months. We also do neuter days that are smaller in scale on Fridays here, and on those days we see anywhere between about 5 and 15 cats that come through on a Friday. And we do those not every Friday, but most Fridays we carry on.